So very good evening. Another webinar, another compliance, another attempt to make the capital market a better place. So today's agenda and the topic is segregation monitoring of collateral at client levels. So something is happening on 1st October, something is expected to happen on 1st December. And there are lots of queries from the members, many answered, some still pending. So the idea is to educate the members of what is happening on this subject. So the standard presentation, the standard flow of BBF will have a short presentation in the beginning, followed by Q&A session. We have all the four clearing corporation executives, representatives as a part of the Q&A session. So we should be able to get most of the answers. Friends, this, as usual, this is a program which is also an opportunity for us to learn and an opportunity for us to give feedback to CCs, even they get some ideas based on what they hear, what they get from us. Sometimes ideas are tweaked. MIS takes it to the authorities, to the regulators to get it resolved. So here goes. What is the background of this paper for client collateral segregation? And on 10th May, SEBI issued a discussion paper. All of us gave our comments, whoever thought it was appropriate. 24th June was the last day of the comments, and in less than a month, the circular was issued. That gives you some idea of how seriously SEBI is taking this particular subject, and rightly so. First, protection of client assets is a paramount and the most important issue we all face, even as responsible market intermediaries. It's a good step in the client asset protection, but does increase our work. There's nothing we can do about it. So what is going to happen? There are two things that are happening. One is allocation, second is reporting. Allocation starts from 1st December. We'll touch upon it briefly in the end. But the reporting starts from 1st October, and that is the focus for today's program. Again, focus on 1st October, 1st December, as was explained. So from 1st October, all brokers through the CMs will be in case of TMs, they'll be uploading through the CMs. Daily file at the end of the day. By the next day, 1 p.m., which will have details of funds received from clients, securities, other collateral received from clients. And then additionally, each of these funds and securities and collateral mapped with what is deposited with the clearing corporation, or in case either or the clearing member, as the case may be. By the way, it is not applicable to pro-only brokers. So if you're a broker who does a pro-only work, you can simply log off the webinar and just relax a bit. What is the basic challenge? That's another report we can all give. We are this client assets which are lying with us. We are anyway reporting on a week plus 4 basis as a standard practice in the market. But similarly, whatever assets of ours are lying with a clearing member or clearing corporation, obviously we know कि बस यहाँ FD पड़ा है, BC पड़ा है, cash पड़ा है, whatever. But within our back offices, there's no ready logical connection. Ki this is here, this is there. This is what this particular reporting asks from us, and that is where back offices are facing a challenge. So let's look at the file structure. The structures were provided in August, and FAQs were issued in September. Shortly, exactly in which directory, how do we upload is going to come out. Some kind of testing is already in progress. Most back office vendors have their favorite 1 or 2 brokers through which they are dealing with the CCs and uploading and downloading the data. Remember, in this case, file formats is standard, but PM gives data to CM and CM gives to CC. So theoretically, your PCM may have a different file format than as given by the CC, but most probably it will be the same. Why would anybody create their additional formats? But please reconfirm this with your PCM. One practical challenge we're all going to face, giving a heads up. Data has to be uploaded by T+1. Okay, so the biggest issue is going to be bank reconciliation. Clients transfer money electronically. There was just some money that can land in your bank account at 11:59 in the night. In the morning, your office needs to come. Is you reconcile all the bank accounts, pass all the entries, cleared, uncleared, point number 11, point number 12 of the data, and upload it by 1 o'clock. If there's something wrong with your file and the file gets rejected, you have to immediately resolve it. So these are the issues that are going to happen. Because there's so much time, there's bound to be mistakes. Something or other will go wrong, some data will go here and there, and there will be implications. So all of us requested to please be aware of the file structures, be aware of the validations, and please do a double check. Now, what does this file contain? We'll just go through the file. One is the general details of the client. Second is the asset wise collection from the clients. And third is, what did we do with that collection? Is it lying with us? Is it lying with CM? Is it lying with is it given to CC? We'll explain it further. Now, if you look at the data points, one is general data, file related. What's the date of the file, claim member man, trading member pan. Then client related data, UCC, client span, CP code in case of custodian client, so on and so forth. There's also a requirement of segment indicator. Remember, SLB and OFS are treated as separate segments for the purpose of this reporting. Even the third-party repo and debt platform is treated separately. So please, everyone, that is something that we all need to take care. Now, this is file data and client data. Next is, what are the assets that you can take from the clients? There are 8 asset classes which are defined. One is the cash, bank guarantee, FD that we can take from the clients. There are securities, commodities which have some classification, and there are others. Now, this cash, bank guarantee, and FD, I'm just calling it the money category. So, because it will explain something going ahead. Logically, suppose we have collected 100 from the client and placed 500 with the CC, the balance 400 would be our pro money. So that would be the balancing figure. That because what is the pro money is a question we will keep on asking. What is my money? So this is how that difference would probably give you that number. Now let's look at the asset class. The first asset class in the money category is cash, where the collection data is an item number 10, 11, 12. 10 is the financial ledger balance, which this includes EPI, mind you. Number 11 is the financial ledger clear, which removes all the impact of open bills, margins, and uncleared checks. And 12 is the peak financial ledger balance. Again, we have to give on basis of clear balances. 10, 11, 12, we are already uploading on a W+4 basis. So more or less, we have an idea. Against that, we have to report what is the cash retained by the trading member, how much is placed with the claim member. Then, and further of that, how much is the cash retained by the claim member, what is the cash placed by the CC. For every place with the CC, in almost every place, this is the breakup that is going to come. So let's, for example, bank guarantee. So item 13 is the bank guarantee received by TM. Okay. And then out of that, how much is retained, how much is placed, how much is retained, how much is placed, TM, CM, CMCC. Similarly, for FDR, that comes in item number 14. There's a separate classification. Again, W+4 has this data. So how much FD is received, then how much is retained, CM. Retained by TM, given to CM, retained by CM, given to CC. Literally, you have to do it for every asset class, as you'll see going ahead. Now, in number 14, there's a little googly, everybody requested to take care. What are FDs of clients? There are 2 ways. One, client makes his own FD, marks lien in our favor, and we put it in Almira, and very happy we have received margin. And we fund allow the client to trade. And if we are rich enough broker, I'll pay from my own margin. Some people say, no, please give me check. I will make the FD from my bank account and give it to the CC in case I'm a self-trained member. If client has given check and we have made the FDR, it doesn't go in item 14, it goes in item 10 or 11. Okay, in the financial ledger balance. If the client is given FD, which we have kept in Almira, it goes in 14. Now, remember, third-party FDs are definitely not allowed. So, if you get something from 14, most probably you're going to keep it with yourself. But if your CM is very happy, if your CM is ready to take it, fine. Then the CM is to keep it with itself. CM cannot give to CC. So if your 14 is more than 0, whatever your 14 is, 48 will always be 0 for client account C. For pro, of course, you can give your own money. But for the client, 48 will always need to be 0. Please take care. I know many brokers who are confused of how to account for, how to report the FDs. So going ahead, let's say this cash FDBG is the group which I'm calling it money for the sake of simplicity. The form of money keeps on changing. Client is given cash, we are given bank guarantee, CM has given FD. So all this one-to-one correlation between this subsets of money is not possible. So you need to report it across this entire group, best given with the example. Let's take an example where I'm a self-paying member. I have 3 clients, A, B, and C. Each have credit of 100 rupees. That is column 10, 11. And No, forget EPIs, forget securities, forget underclearing. Nothing is there. Just this is a simple thing. Now I have a broker have deposited 600 rupees with the clearing corporation. उसमें 200 FD or 200 cash and 200 BG. Now out of BG, 50% is funded, 50% is not funded. See, it could be 60, it could be 70. It depends on each and every broker. So 300 of the clients, 600 given. So 300 is pro. Assuming I'm not retained anything, everything is given ahead. How do you report this? This is how the file will look like. In column 10 and 11, it will be column 9 will be the client ABC. Column 10, I think it's a PAN number, but I'll just put it for simplicity. 10 would be the financial ledger balance. 100, 100, 100, तीनों का पड़ा हुआ है. Now nothing have retained, everything is gone. So 22, 23, 20, 22 will be 0. There's no 23, 24 in any case. Now how do I report in 46, 47 and 48? Now, the total of 47, 46, 48 needs to be 100. For A, 100 for B, 100 for C, at the row level. At the column level, 46 ka total will be 200, 47 will be 200, 48 will be 200. And in case of Pro, 47 BG, the unfunded part of the bank guarantee will have to be reported under 47 in Pro only and no one else. So 100 has to be minimum. It can be more. Give you example. This is one reporting that I could do. A 100 के सामने 100 FD है, B 100 के सामने 100 FD है, and C 100 के सामने 100 BG. And Pro 300 के सामने 200 is cash and 100 is BG. Or I could report like this: A 100 cash, B 100 FD, C 100 BG, Pro 100 100. Or I can report like this: 100 100. This is all of them are acceptable reporting because the group money is tallying. So this has to be clear in your mind. Even this is possible. See, in all cases, the BG of Pro is minimum 100. It could be 152. A copy of this presentation will be available. If you want, we can run this again. But this is how the group money has to be allocated. This is an example just to clarify all these issues. See, various permutation combinations are possible. The total should tally. Money received from the client should be equal to money retained plus money placed. Again, placed, I'm using some loose words and not using perfect technical jargons because the idea is more educative rather than technicalities. Again, remember, only funded part of BG can be reported for clients. Unfunded belongs to Pro and Pro only. So that is on the money part. Now come to securities and commodities. In case of securities, again, CCs have divided into some classifications. One is securities are approved by CC and securities are not approved by CC. That list is available on CC website. Further, there are certain the approved securities, certain securities are considered cash and certain are considered non-cash. For example, some liquid mutual funds are considered equivalent to cash, the 50-50 ratio, cash and cash equivalent. While shares of, say, Infosys or shares of, say, Reliance would be a non-cash approved security. All the classifications available in CC websites. Your back office will need to import for all the CCs that you're associated with, which are the approved securities, which are not approved securities, which are the cash securities and not cash securities, and report in the right places. Now, which is your CC? That is also will be a mystery for you, because most of us are self-clearing members in the cash segment. So we know it's either NCL or ICCL. But in case of derivatives, the currency and this and that, currency equity derivatives, we are under a PCM. A PCM, at least 50% of the market, I believe, under PCM. Now, PCM could be with any CC, you don't know. So you'll have to ask your CC, bhai, tum kaun se, we ask your CM, ki tum kaun se CC se associated ho. Based on that, you have to take data of that CC. Because uska approved list ko see, 99% is common cash approved. But even if 1% is not telling, that is something that our compliances will need to have. So this is an additional aspect. And then KUSA. Now, if you are using the KUSA securities for margin reporting, then you'll have to put in one of these 4 places. This has been specified in the FAQ. Now, based on this logic, the various categories for reporting of securities is one, approved securities, which are equivalent to cash. Again, number 15, kitna aaya? 25, retain place. Approved securities not cash is the second bucket. How much we got it? Retain placed. Then non-approved securities, how much we got? Retain place, retain. There's no fourth place because if it's a non-approved securities, you cannot place with the CC. So this option doesn't exist. Probably this is the only exception. Commodities, how much you got? Retained, placed, retained, placed. This is the same logic being followed for all the asset classes. Finally, there's also a section called other collateral. Okay, apart from securities and cash, this is I'm not very clear what this could be, but when whatever is permitted which doesn't fall other categories should come here. But that doesn't mean if it falls in a specific category, तुमने general other सब कुछ other में डाल दिया. Don't do that. That would be very very non appropriate. Now others cannot go to CC. So again, retain place retain cannot place further with CC. So again the fourth option is missing. Now remember, in securities, it has to be one-to-one mapping. If you receive any securities from client X, you have to report in client. Like money, the money group where cash, BGFD went all over the place, and there was lots of freedom there because that is the behavior of those products. They do change the form. Securities, commodities do not change form in the pledge, repledge system. There is no fungibility. Reporting has to be done accordingly. Received from X has to be reported in X and no one else. If you're whether you're team or CM, the whole trail has to exist for that client only. There's two more pieces of data that you can report. One is credit entry in ledger in lieu of EPI, and 21 is pool account because if securities come in our account, we are unable to pay it in on time, but still we can consider it for margin for that sale portion only. This is where we upload it in item number 20 and 21. Now, why is CC taking this data? Clearly, it is used for checking the reporting of margin. Now, again, 2021, you need to upload only if client is given credit. But why will you not give credit to the client? Well, all of us do it. So probably all of us is going to report it. But if you're not giving credit to the client, if you're doing EPI, not posting in a ledger, if you don't want to do it, it is optional. But you cannot not load it here and then claim margin collection in some other place. That would be incorrect. Now, all this data MI is taking, what are they going to do with it? Well, we expect them to do various levels of checking. For example, have we reported margin correctly or not? So there's a margin reporting that we're doing. That data would probably be tallied with this. You know, वहाँ पे कुछ बता रहा है, यहाँ बता रहा है, what's happening. So second, if we say कि yeah, so much is lying with CC, they're going to check, भाई, is actually lying with CC or कुछ भी ठोकम ठोक चल रहा है. Further, we say कि yeah, we retained the money. So they're going to check. Have you retained it? Where is it? Is it lying in the client account? Ki the Lexus खरीद लिया, and more. This will not affect the good brokers who do not misutilize client funds. But those who have the shock of doing it, they are in deep trouble. And good, they should be in trouble because of those bad apples. We all face the heat. Now there are three difficulties that we foresee we are going to face. Okay, warning. This is also feedback for the CCs. If you could look into this. Number one, this segment business. Now, as brokers, we are free to choose different CCs for different segments. That's a choice we have. So we could have CCA for segment cash and CCB for segment this. So if you say we have only one report, it is not possible because the data is being handled by different CCs. So segment-wise reporting is a necessary evil. Could that have been CC-wise reporting? Probably yes, maybe in the future from experience. But currently, this is it. Many people have spoken to me a segment-wise. We don't have a choice. Second issue, difficulty we face is sometimes client pledges securities with all marked. Which segment should we report in? Arey, kisi mein kar do, it doesn't matter. But if you have repledged it, the repledge would be in one segment. So in that case, you have to mention that segment and nothing else. From this segment, so the two impacts of segment. The third impact of segment, which is a fear. We are going to reporting of collateral is going to be segment wise. But when we report margin collected, it is on a consolidated basis across all segments, across all ledgers. So there's a client whose 100 rupees credit is lying in the cash segment and he traded in the derivative segment. And now derivative segment file will go as 0 and cash segment file goes 100 rupees lying there. Now, if the data is going to two separate CCs, that CC will say, boss, you've done a wrong reporting and some alerts will go off. While this CC will say, no problem. So we believe it is necessary that CC, there should be some mechanism where CC share the data with each other. Otherwise, this data will really not be used to the potential it can be. Second difficulty we clearly see is uncleared checks. Now, number 10 is total financial ledger, and 11 is the clear ledger. The major difference between 10 and 11 is uncleared check, open bills, margin debits that we put in the ledger, and EPI. Now, open bills and margin debits have to go, no difficulty, that's correct. EPI will go fine, but EPI is captured at 20. So again, we don't have a problem. But uncleared checks are not captured anywhere. And uncleared checks are considered for the purpose of margin reporting, but that's real life. People give the margin, the check haath mein aa gaya, then we allow them to trade. So again, if that data is not captured, then the power of doing a centralized checking of wrong reporting will again not be available to the CCs. So this is the second difficulty that we see as a feedback to the CCs over here. Third is the peak margin. For funds ledger, peak margin is being captured. Very good in number 12. But what about peak securities? That is not being captured. So kya karoge bhai? You have only one side of the data, other side you don't have. Again, false alerts. And then if it is possible for depositories to provide it, then can't the depositories also provide the end of the data? So why are we taking the data and giving to them? And there's a risk of error if the depositories themselves can give the data to the clearing corporations. For both peak, when it comes to securities, the margin pledge and repledge system, on only that part. If they could do it, then it would reduce a lot of work and still have a better system in place. Again, these are three known obvious difficulties that we can see. We thought we'll flag it off. All right, for the benefit of members, a few small notes. People, these questions do come. MTF का क्या करना है? MTF has collateral, MTF has funded, and MTF is outstanding. You have to ignore all three under normal circumstances. वो side में पड़ा है, it has nothing to do with this reporting. However, where somebody has done an MTF trade for which for margin reporting we are considering the MTF collateral for those particular trades, only that has to be considered. That has to be considered. That's it. Where do we put it? जहाँ भी कूसा का जैसे कूसा डाला है वहीं पे आपको डालना पड़ेगा. What about debit balances? If it is debit balances, negative balance, we have to upload debit, credit, both. Zero doesn't need to be uploaded. Now, some client has debit in one segment and credit in another. What to do? In one place report plus, one place report minus. That is something you have to do. If you want to pass JV on a daily basis, make it nil. It's definitely your accounting practice should not be a problem. So this is what you expect on 1st October. Oh, big work and itna kaam kaise hoga? Well, let's come to 1st December, a small idea. From 1st December, every time you place any asset with your clearing corporation or the clearing member, you have to put a client UCC next to it. Now, based on the UCC you provide, CC will provide limits. It's like pledge repledge. If the repledge is the name of client code A001, you can trade only in A001 using that limit. Similarly, when we give this breakup, there'll be UCC wise client code limits that will be given. Securities will of course be automatic. For terminology, what is happening from 1st October, we call it reporting. And what is happening from 1st December, we call it allocation. So let's use this terminology so that we are all on the same plane. So the allocation work begins on 1st December. We have to give the breakup to CC. Even when we withdraw, we have to say कि I'm withdrawing this cash for this UCC. So the CC will keep record, 500 आया, 400 गया, 100 बच गया, so and so forth. We cannot allocate more than what the client has given us. All right. So whatever is received in item 11 of the reporting, that's an analogy. Usse zyada if you allocate, then we have a problem. Now allocation again, the money group we can allocate aage piche. Securities you don't need to allocate because anyway 1-to-1. So no difference that the CC already knows. Some more things that will happen first. 50-50 cash non-cash ratio will be monitored now at the UCC level. If UCC does not permit, if that UCC doesn't have sufficient ratio, then the cash component of the pro will be used. And if there's not enough in pro, gaya sada. Similarly, RRM will not be at general, it will be at UCC level. And if there's a shortage UCC level, pro's collateral will be consumed. Third, if the client, suppose the client is given, suppose the number 11 of the client is 100. And say, okay, cash segment, 100 BG I'm allotting to client A. Now the client trades in derivatives. So there's nothing there. So the entire the pro money or dirt will be used for the 8 rates. Then you'll have to in your system reallocate in cash between pro and A100, reallocate in FNO between brands, then you'll start getting a margin. Now, if you're a very rich broker, tons of pro money, no problem, chill, you don't have to do much. Hota rahega. But if you are tight on capital, please get your operations up to mark. All right, it will be a tight operation, it will be a tight ship. There's nothing you can do about it. If you want to give extra convenience to the clients, well, sell the shares EPI रात को कर देना, तो दिन भर का margin कौन देगा? Pro has to give, not the other clients. I think it's fair. You cannot use one client's money for others. This is not acceptable by any stretch of imagination. So all of us will either need to be very tight with the clients or have sufficient margins of money of our own so that we can do what is we can permit clients to trade the way they are trading. So that is some idea of the reporting from 1st October and allocation from 1st December. We'll have the Q&A sessions. Vispi Bhai will moderate it. Again, as is a practice, please raise your electronic hands. We'll turn on your mic. Please ask your questions. A warning, we are talking only about client allocation segregation. Sometimes our members have a exchange वाले आए हुए हैं तो 4 question और पूछ लेते हैं. Please stay to the topic, otherwise it will go for everything goes for a toss. Vispi, over to you.
Yes, sir. Himanshu ji, your question, please. Mr. Himanshu? Mr. Saurabh Jain, you can ask your question.
Hi, first question with respect to column number 10, with respect to financial ledger balance. We had the NCL speakers come in yesterday and they spoke some things about the financial ledger balance at column 10. Uttam, I understand from the FAQ that they mentioned that EPI is to be included, and they've also mentioned out there that in some ways, I think the understanding is that margin value is also to be included. There's some confusion there. Our practice is that we do not post EPI into the financial ledger. We do not post margin into the financial ledger, the margin obligation of the client. And our takeaway from yesterday was that they wanted the financial ledger balance, let's say as per the trial balance, and to be reported under column 10. Can you re-clarify what we need to do out here?
So I'll attempt to answer this, and CCs can please refute if I got it wrong. Financial ledger is whatever hell you're doing in your back office. Some brokers debit the margins, some brokers don't debit the margins. Some broker EPI, so anyway, EPI you have to post in ledgers. So that is there. Some people keep a virtual ledger for EPI, but ledger is there. So whatever you're doing in your financial ledger, okay, that has to be reported. So obviously the check, uncleared checks, if you're debiting margin, then everything comes as it is. I'm also building from what I learned in the past when this upload came. Then when from financial ledger, you have to convert to clear ledger, where you have to, some people, for example, do T posting or for the T+1 settlement. Now this actually open bill. You have to remove the effect of even that. So whatever you do as accounting practice in your financial ledger, in your normal financial system, that comes in the financial ledger. And then from there, you remove the open bills, you remove the margins if you have posted any, open bills if you have posted any, uncleared checks, definitely they'll be there. And EPI is already inside. So EPI will have to be removed when you make it clear. That is my understanding. Can the CCs confirm or refute what I said? Anyone from CCs can?
Uttam, we're clear on column 11, like you mentioned, it has to be the clear balance. And yes. Column 10, again, understood what you said, but like in our case, we have a virtual ledger for the EPI. So now do we need to add that EPI value to the value for column 10? That's where our confusion was.
I think yes. Piyush Bhai, can you confirm this?
Yes, this is Hima from NSE Clearing. Yes, you will have to include that.
Saurabh, that answers the question clearly?
Yeah, we're not sure the purpose behind it, but yeah.
See, it has to be there, no? Saurabh, it's logical. Financial ledgers is a ledger. You cannot say I've got 8 ledgers, I'll report only ledger number 1. Financial As for the EPI benefit, it has to be posted in ledger. That's a part of the requirement.
Got it. What I'm just as an example. So if the client has sold 2 lakhs of securities, the credit bill has come for 2 lakhs in the financial ledger. We did the early pay in for the 2 lakhs of securities. So effectively, the value in column 10 will be now 2 plus 2, 4 lakhs. Correct?
That would be incorrect.
So that's what our understanding is from this then.
You're doing a T billing.
Correct.
So if you're doing a T billing, then EPI cannot come. Then that would be a double counting.
So again, if I did a 2 lakhs purchase of Reliance and 2 lakhs sold SBI, my ledger posting is 0 for the bill, and I did 2 lakhs SBI pay in. So now I post a 0
but
plus
no. See, this is there's a fallacy in what you're saying. What they say, if the FAQ says the past that if you sell some, you can give EPI credit only if it's posted in ledger, right? You're already doing T billings. You've already posted in ledger, so there's no second posting.
No. The ledger balance, like the bill posting here was 0. So like 2 lakhs purchased.
You're doing T billing, right?
Correct. So I purchased security A and I sold security B. 2 lakhs purchased, 2 lakhs sold. Bill value is 0. Net bill posting is 0 in the financial ledger on T date. And I did my 2 lakhs security B sold. I did the early pay in for that.
But then you're not maintaining a separate early pay in ledger, na, in your case, because
that's
you're
a
doing
virtual ledger.
You know, there is no virtual ledger because we've already posted it. It's no longer a ledger.
There's a virtual ledger. Will have a credit for 2 lakhs for the early pay in done.
Then your virtual ledger is wrong because you're doing it. See, this virtual ledger is applicable to those who do for T plus 2 billing. For T billing, the effect of early pay in already reflected in the ledger.
No,
you see conceptually.
That's not the case. When we do we are posting based on clear balance. In clear balance, the balance will become 0 and EPI value will be 2 lakhs. So there's no confusion there. Now we are talking about column 10 where we are posting as per the books.
We are talking about column 10. We are talking about books. Most brokers in this country follow T plus 2 billing. So they have this normal ledger which has no effect, and there's a EPI ledger being maintained separately. Correct. Now some brokers have been smart, wanted to make life simple. They went for T billing totally. So if you're done T billing, then the effect of the sale EPI is already been posted in the ledger.
It's not.
Yeah, it has come, no? Anyways,
I think,
issue has been raised. If any CCs can answer this right now or later, leave it on you. Okay. Moving to the next question. Saurabh,
can I ask one more question?
Yes, sure, please.
Just we're confused in terms of, so we have to segregate between cash market and F&O. So now we are self-clearing in cash market, clearing and trading member in F&O. Do I need to provide only so NCL is my clearing member for cash market. So I only give them the cash market file. Is that what it is? Or do I give them the entire file with all segregation for the client assets?
No, only the cash market where you are the clearing member needs to be submitted to us.
Okay, so as NCL will then in our case receive only the cash market file, and we will give the PCM the F&O file then.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thanks.
Mr. Harish, your question, please.
Hi, good afternoon, sir, madam. While reporting the collateral, can we consider the initial deposit given to the ICCL in cash and F&O segment?
So you are talking about the deposits which you have placed with the clearing corporation, right?
Yes.
You need to report the deposits which you have placed with the clearing corporation as TM Pro, as a trading member. So in the column you will have to have TM details and account type as P.
No? Okay, Pro.
तो Pro का पैसा हो गया.
Okay.
Mr. Sayan Dalal, your question. Mr. Himanshu Shah, your question, please. Mr. Shranik Shah, you may ask.
Yeah. Sir, my question is with respect to passing of general entry between the segments. So right now, say we are having BSC for currency segment and NSC for cash and F&O segment. So it would be mandatory to pass entries between the segments, cash, F&O, currency. basis of reporting, or it's fine just for reporting, we report as it is and we don't pass any entries in client ledger?
If you don't pass the entry, so tomorrow when the CCs come for inspection, how will you be able to show that?
So if I generate combined ledger, then on combined basis, my balance what I've reported, that will get tallied. But at segment wise, there will be difference.
No, you will have to, ideally, you will have to have it segmented.
Every day, end of the day, I need to pass accordingly entry from one segment to another segment, which will defeat the purpose of, I think, so interoperability. Where
I'll rephrase the question, Shring bhai. Hema, so there's a client who's credit 100 rupees in FNO and 100 rupees debit in cash. I have two options. One, I can report both the all the CCs wherever both the segments. I just report whatever is the minus 100 plus 100 and go ahead. Or I pass JV and report 0-0 in case I don't need to report. Now passing JV is mandatory or it is desirable? Is it a good practice or is it a requirement? So JV pass nahi kiya, low be penalty.
No, how you manage is your lookout. In the sense like it's desirable. Okay, so otherwise, I mean, from what we have spoken to the back office vendors, in the other earlier meetings, so we understand it's maybe that's the otherwise, how will you know? I mean, when tomorrow after 1 year, or because sometimes we come at the end of the year for inspections and so on and so forth. So at that point of time, when we compare the data what you had given. And with what you have in your books, if it is not tallying, then it will create a problem. So that's the only point I'm saying. So how you manage and how you maintain your books is something which is internal to you.
Sheikh bhai, desirable, not mandatory, but if there's something out, you'll have to need to convince the inspecting team that तुमने कुछ गलत नहीं किया.
Yeah. But sir, again, then there will be problem with peak margin reporting as well. Since I have passed say entry from one segment to another segment, so while calculating the peak balance, I need to combine everything and I have to report accordingly peak balance.
See, abhi tak reporting is consolidated.
Yes.
आज तक अभी वो कानून चेंज नहीं हुआ है. मतलब margin collection reporting is consolidated. Now 1st October से एक नया तरह का रिपोर्ट बन रहा है. ठीक है, इस रिपोर्ट को उसके लिए यूज करने वाले हैं. बट एज आई मेंशन द 3 difficulties which I also pointed out. Strictly this data cannot be used the way it is. It will go out. So जैसा कि बोला, it is desirable not mandatory. अब आप बोल रहे हैं X करोगे तो Y तकलीफ होगी, Z करोगे तो K तकलीफ हो जाएगी. आपकी बात बिल्कुल सही है. We'll just flag it off. Thanks for raising the issue, Shankar. I don't think there's an immediate answer available for this.
Yes.
But
and
issue,
Uttam,
boliye.
Yeah, second question is on this same early pay entry. So point number 10 and 11. So in case if we are passing entry on settlement date, T+2 day billing. So for cash segment, if we are following T+2 day billing cycle, but for early pay, we are having no separate ledger where we are passing an entry. And for financial ledger, we are just showing without that virtual entry in client ledger. So is it still mandatory to show under A balance? Under A balance with early pay entry? Because client can see only without early pay in balance, wherever he is logging or wherever he is checking the balance. Only for margin reporting purpose, we are passing entry in separate ledger where we pass even margin notional entries and early pay notional entries. So still it's mandatory to report under 10 with early pay in balance, or there is separate column which Exchange is already given where we can report early pay in balance.
Sir, if I may come in over here, what we are saying is, suppose say early paying, if you have received it for settlement purpose, that need not be shown because that is not that's not being considered as a part of the collateral unless you are using early paying. Like say for example, you took you took early paying of shares or cash on T+1, but whereas you are passing on to CC on the next day, and if you are providing. And if you're having any passed on any benefit to the end client, then definitely that needs to be shown over here. Otherwise, if it's only for settlement purpose, that need not be shown over here.
So if you have taken margin benefit, then you are saying it's mandatory to show under point number 10.
Yes.
Okay.
So my discussions with different CC officials seem to indicate that number 10 should contain your financial ledger plus EPI figure. And EPI figure also shown separately in 20 or 21, wherever it is.
Okay, because
again, I'm noting this point again for further clarification. Because
earlier, while for cash and cash equivalent reporting, we got different answer where we told them it's not required to be reported under A balance for if we are doing, say if we are passing separate entry in M ledger. So at that time we got a different answer. Hence, just wanted to clarify.
Yeah. So the whether EPI has to be added in 10 or not, number one, and what happens when T billing plus T plus 2 billing. On this, we'll request the CC to give a appropriate clarification ASAP.
Yes. Yes. And JV point.
And the second is the JV compulsory, mandatory, advisable, or what?
If I can come in over here, just one clarification. We are right now talking about the October scenario, but suppose we are on December 1st. Okay, so what we are saying is, suppose if you anything, if EPI, the entire EPI comes over here, what will happen is it will show an inflated number. But whereas that is not the actual collateral, right? Which we are.
See, first December will go on 11. We'll use item 11, not 10. So there's no difficulty in 11. Difficulty is in what to report in 10. So the allocation on 1st December should not exceed item 11. With that is there's no doubt about it, and that's the correct statement. But 10 के अंदर हम EPI को डाले या नहीं डाले is what is confusing everyone.
So basically, the thumb rule is that if you are using the EPI for collateral, then you should report it. If you are not using it for collateral, you are not providing another leverage, more leverage to the client for that EPI. See, basically, when you do EPI to clearing corp, you allowed to take another 80% of the position. If you are not doing that, then you don't need to report. If you are doing that, if you are providing that benefit to the client, using it as a collateral, that EPI ka value, then you have to report it.
But that we are reporting in 20, that's okay. Now in number 10, do we need to add
10,
it or
10.
not?
Yes, 10 में बात कर रहा हूँ मैं आपको.
Okay,
I talk about 10 specifically. I'm not about 20. I'm talking about 10 only. 20 though you have to give anyway. 10 is if you are doing it only for settlement purpose, early payment of securities. Okay, you're not providing any collateral benefit for that value of the early paying.
Okay.
Then you don't need to report it. If you are providing benefit of the value of the early paying for other positions as a collateral, then you have to report it.
All right. I'll request CCs to we'll have a separate discussion on this because this will take half an hour. This single topic alone, but we should get a clarity on this quickly. All right, we're moving to next questions.
Yes, Mr. Viral Shah, your question, please. Mr. Ravindra, you can ask your question. Mr. Jatin?
Hi. Hello.
Yes, Mr. Viral Shah, you can ask your question. Yes.
Yeah, sir, my question is, suppose we have the 80 crore creditors and against the 90 crores FD we have. So how can we allocate the FDs to the particular creditors? Because the creditors always changes per day. So how can we allocate that?
तो डेली करना पड़ेगा ना दोस्त. डेली एलोकेशन होगा. ये एंड ऑफ डे फाइल है, मिडल ऑफ द डे नहीं है. तो जैसे आज 29 सितंबर है सपोज, तो आज रात का ट्रायल बैलेंस लिया. आज रात मतलब 29 का ट्रायल बैलेंस आज 28 है. 28 के रात को 28 का ट्रायल बैलेंस तो बन जाएगा ना क्रेडिटर का लिस्ट.
राइट सर.
तो वो आपका 80 करोड़ है, तो आप सामने एलोकेट करते जाओ. उसके बाद अगले दिन आपका 81 करोड़ हो गया तो भी एलोकेट करते जाओ. सपोज 70 करोड़ हो गया तो भी एफडी एलोकेट करते जाओ. जो बच गया उसको प्रो में डाल दो. वो मैंने एग्जांपल रन किया था ना पूरा.
ओके.
हाँ वैसे ये एंड ऑफ डे है, इंटरडे है, वो सब नहीं है. सो दैट विल बी इजी.
ओके. Hello.
Hello. Ravindra, your question, please. Yes.
Yeah. Hi. So see, we have NCL as a designated clearing corporation.
What do you mean by as NCL as a designated clearing corporation? What do you mean by this statement?
No, so cash segments. Yeah, cash segments.
You are a self-clearing member in the cash segment under NCL.
Cash segment, yes. Yeah, okay. NCL is the designated clearing corporation, and we have placed capital with ICSL as per our old, because we are a member for BSE and NSE. So ICSL and NCL both we are having a membership, now designated is NCL, but the capital is lying with ICC as well as NCL.
वो पुराना चल रहा है, वो जो चल रहा है
पुराना चल रहा है वो, right?
हाँ.
But अभी clearing corporation NCL is giving benefit for both. Yes. Margin and exposure के लिए वो दोनों benefit दे रहे.
Yes.
Now do I need to report to both clearing corporation or only with NCL?
Good question.
Because I think there are certain delisting and all those stuffs are still getting settled with respect to clearing corporation.
Good question.
Okay, so that is the one query.
If I may rephrase this question,
Yeah.
Some members are members of both CCs. Okay, but they are using only one CC and other CC they're dormant. So how do they give the breakup?
You give breakup to only one CC, the one you have chosen.
All right. ठीक है रविंद्र भाई?
No, so ICCL is not dormant, I can say.
नहीं, हर सेगमेंट में एक ही एक्टिव हो सकता है आपका सीसी.
ओके, नहीं, देयर आर, जैसे अभी ये कुछ डिलिस्टिंग का या जो भी कुछ अगर स्टॉक रहता है, ओके, उसमें ट्रांजैक्शंस अगर होते हैं, गवर्नमेंट गोल्ड बॉन्ड वगैरह जो है उसके ट्रांजैक्शंस, हाँ, टेंडर ऑफर्स, उसके जो ट्रांजैक्शंस होते हैं,
we are active there.
Yeah, so we are active there. So how to do like
good point. So for tender offers, both CCs are active for both segments.
Correct.
For that there's separate reporting ना, मतलब that is separate segment, तो वहाँ पे आपको दोनों को करना है. Whatever is not interoperable, वहाँ पे आपको दोनों करना है ना.
But that is part of cash segment, right?
So tender offer is not shown separately as a segment. OFS is separate.
Yeah.
Offer for sale is separate. SLB is separate. But tender offers are not separate. It's part of cash only.
Right. So in that case, you have to do that part दोनों.
Double reporting.
No, because you are going to settle through both ICC and NCL, na?
Yeah.
So some offers through one, that particular offer.
So the thing is, 90% of my assets are lying with CC1, 10% with CC2, and we are talking about cash segment only, say, for the purpose of discussion. Okay, now because of interop, CC2 is giving credit of CC1 assets also, जो मेरा default exchange है, default CC है. So in the books of CC मेरा 100 रुपया जमा है, जबकि एक्चुअल्स को दिया 90 और 10 उसको दिया हुआ है. तो 100 का ब्रेकअप मैं किसको दूं? Will you think about it and get back on this?
Yeah, okay, we'll get back to this.
Okay.
Because this was not envisaged. Even it's a new one for me.
Yeah. Second point is like, I think this was already discussed. Just wanted to take clarity. Like I have to report segment-wise balances for a cash segment. I am a self-clearing member, and for derivative and currency segment, PCM is settling our transactions. So balances, ledger balances, I have to report on a segment-wise.
Yes.
So okay, so even though there is a debit balance in cash segment and credit balance in derivative segment.
Yes.
Then I have to report as it is.
Yes.
But while margin reporting, I have to report consolidate.
Yes.
So I think because last few days or few weeks, exchange also started sending alerts or emails, asking clarification on certain, if there is balances or some reporting doesn't match, then we have to clarify.
वो G का testing हो रहा है.
Okay. So I think with this again, so this will continue because
yes,
a cash segment में debit balance है, and I am collecting securities and pledging securities, repledging securities with PCM. So cash में वहाँ पे वो margin shortfall, there is a possibility of query.
I had a full slide on possible false alerts because of this reason, and I've also clarified in my presentation that we need to upload whatever in your books of account जो segment अपना जो देखा है वो जेवी मार के उड़ा दे, दूसरी बात है, अदरवाइज आपको करना ही पड़ेगा.
नहीं जेवी तो बैलेंसेस के जो पोस्टिंग हुए है, लेजर पोस्टिंग हुए, उसके जेवी मार के एडजस्ट कर सकते हैं,
करना चाहो तो.
या बट जो स्टॉक्स है,
स्टॉक्स के बारे में मैंने बताया, स्टॉक क्लाइंट ने ऑल करके प्लेज किया है, तो आप किसी भी सेगमेंट में दिखा दो. यदि उसने एक पर्टिकुलर सेगमेंट दिया तो उसी सेगमेंट में दिखाओ. ऑल के हिसाब से आपने आगे रीप्लेज किसी एक सेगमेंट कर दिया तो उस सेगमेंट में दिखाना पड़ेगा.
नहीं, आई थिंक ये जो जो FAQ या जो फाइल फॉर्मेट आया था, वहाँ पे सेगमेंट इंडिकेटर में ऑल सेगमेंट करके यहाँ कुछ मेंशन नहीं किया है।
अरे
Did I
यार
miss?
रविंद्र जी फिर से सुनिए आप। नहीं,
क्या?
क्लाइंट आपको देता है, उसने आपको ऑल, यदि उसने एक ही सेगमेंट कैश लिखा तो आप कैश में रिपोर्ट करोगे, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है,
राइट।
अब उसने ऑल कर दिया तो आप कंफ्यूज, अब मैं क्या करूं?
क्या?
फिर उसने ऑल किया तो आप रीप्लेज कर सकते हो।
यस।
यदि उसने ऑल करके दिया और आपने कैश में रिप्लेज किया तो उस माल को कैश में दिखाना।
करेक्ट।
उसने ऑल किया और आपने रिप्लेज किया ही नहीं, ये फाइनल सिचुएशन ये है।
यस यस।
जहां मैंने दिखा दो।
ओके ओके।
सीसी, दिस इज ओके। क्लीन कॉपी कैन यू कंफर्म? मैं बोल तो दिया कॉन्फिडेंटली।
बिकॉज क्या हो रहा है, स्टॉक्स प्लेज हो जाता है।
We'll let the CC. I've understood the situation. सही समझाओ ना वीरेंद्र जी, आपका क्वेश्चन सही है। हाँ, so if the client has pledged securities to me with segment all, I've not repledged anywhere. In which segment should I show it? Can I show it in any segment as per my whims and fancies?
If you're not pledged it, if you're not replaced it, then you can show it any segment.
ठीक है रविंद्र जी, आंसर क्वेश्चन आंसर्ड।
Yeah, okay, thanks. And last
पूछिए।
Yeah.
बिकॉज आपका हर सवाल आपका नहीं, आप सब पूरे कम्युनिटी के बिहाफ में पूछ रहे हो, आपके जवाब से 100 जन को जवाब मिलता है, सो प्लीज पूछिए।
पीक मार्जिन फाइनेंशियल लेजर। ओके, so peak margin financial ledger, so my understanding is like the highest ledger balance entire day on that day, right?
Yes.
Plus EPI. Is that?
No, EPI नहीं होगा बिकॉज क्लियर चल रहा है ना।
अच्छा,
नंबर 12 इज क्लियर, इट इज नॉट फाइनेंशियल लेजर। नंबर 10 इज घचपच, 11 इज क्लियर, 12 इज क्लियर।
अच्छा, 12 इज क्लियर।
हाँ,
ओके।
EPI बगल में 20 नंबर में साइड में नोट किया हुआ ना।
या 20 में EPI मेंशन किया हुआ है। ओके, 10 एंड 11 में कंसीडर करना है EPI।
11 में नहीं करना, 11 भी क्लियर है ना यार।
ओके,
10 नंबर में EPI कंसिडर करना है। यदि आपने क्रेडिट क्लेम किया हो तो क्लाइंट को बेनिफिट दे रहे हो तो 11 में EPI नहीं होगा, 12 में EPI नहीं होगा, 20 में EPI होगा।
ओके, फाइन, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Mr. Jay Toshniwal, your question, please.
Hello. I have a couple of questions. One is that somewhere it was mentioned that we have to report securities repledged by the CM. Now, will the CM be informing us on daily basis what he has repledged to exchanges, trading corporations or not? How will we come to know that CM has repledged?
आपको तो खाली CM वाला पार्ट देना, आगे वाला वो करेगा, वो भरेगा।
So that those columns will be filled up by the CM.
Yes, आप तो भर ही नहीं सकते, और क्योंकि आप CC को कुछ दे ही नहीं रहे, आप CM को दे रहे हो।
Okay, understood.
हाँ जी।
Second part was that regarding peak margin reporting, timestamp capturing in the back office become necessary. Otherwise, how do we calculate correct peak?
तो इसमें तो पीक बोलता है दिन भर में जो भी मैक्स फिगर है वो दे। ये तो वीक +4 में ऑलरेडी अपने पीक आप इतने महीनों से लोड कर रहे हो, सेम लॉजिक विल कंटिन्यू।
Now that logic is running, but there is some issue with that. Well, what happens is we have credits coming at different times during the day and debits coming during different times during the day. For example, payout happens at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, pay-in happens in the morning. Okay, अब सॉफ्टवेयर के अंदर क्रेडिट एंट्री पहले आती है, डेबिट एंट्री बाद में आती है, so the peak gets calculated differently.
So FAQ ने कहा है कि जो जनरली इतने महीनों से आप जो कर रहे हो, जनरली सेम लॉजिक हैज टू बी फॉलोड। सो FAQ में मतलब बोले कि यदि पुराना कंफ्यूजन तो पुराना कंफ्यूजन चलने दो, हम नया कंफ्यूजन क्रिएट नहीं कर रहे।
Okay.
लेकिन पुराना पीक का कंफ्यूजन क्लियर होना चाहिए। मैं आई नोटेड इट डाउन।
Okay, and since 1st December there is supposed to be a new system, why do we have this headache of from 1st October for 2 months? We can straight away go to 1st December new system.
नहीं, ये जो 1st October सिस्टम है ये सदैव के लिए है। 1st October इज रिपोर्टिंग, 1st December इज एलोकेशन। 1st December आएगा तो 1st October बंद नहीं होगा, ये तो चलता रहेगा।
No, it will be overlapping because 1st December will ensure allocation of margins in different segments.
नहीं, 1st December का अपलोड अलग होगा। फर्स्ट रिपोर्टिंग का एलोकेट, ये जो रिपोर्टिंग है, 1st October से रिपोर्टिंग है, ये सेम फाइल फॉर्मेट विल कंटिन्यू फॉरएवर।
Uttam, let me
हाँ,
just give a reason why it's like that. See, 1st December से जो होने वाला है ना, that is only for at CC level. So whatever collateral is coming to CC, that allocation you will give from 1st December at client level. But there is a lot of collateral which you are not going to pass on to CC, right? Which is client collateral lying with you, etc. So they have different purposes. However, there will be a reconciliation which will happen between from the 1st December files and the 1st October onward जो files हो रहा है. तो बाद में उसका reconciliation भी होगा, उसके ऊपर भी एक separate framework बनेगा, but they will both continue.
Okay. And one more question was that somewhere Uttam mentioned that the purpose of this file is not to capture the peak reporting. The peak margin reporting is through a different system.
No. That's not what I said. This is not what I said, but I'll re-clarify. This purpose of this file is to capture the peak reporting, but it is not doing it completely. Securities funds का पकड़ रहा है, securities का पकड़ रहा नहीं है, और इसलिए ऐसा करके मैंने एक issue flag किया था.
So in that case, suppose the column of peak margin is removed from this file, it reduces the headache. So peak
That's
जैसे
true.
चल रहा है वैसे चलेगा.
That's true, but week plus बिल्कुल सही है, लेकिन अब इस स्टेज में आपको फिर फाइल फॉर्मेट चेंज करना है.
No, that can go as 0 for the time being to be ignored.
Suggestion noted, Toshinal ji.
Okay. Okay, fine. Thanks.
अच्छा.
Mr. Saurabh Jain, your question, please.
Uttam, 2 questions. One is on the haircut. What I understand is the clearing corporation gives a monthly list of approved securities. So that should be the list that we should refer to.
No. There are 3 lists. One is the list is every CC says this I consider as cash, this I consider non-cash. That is list 1.
The list which they issue once in a month. For
so this is list 1.
List.
List 2 is I take this. These are securities I'll accept as collateral. Baki I will not accept. That list 2. Correct?
Sorry, can you repeat that? List 1 is.
This one list is these are the securities which I consider as cash equivalent.
Yeah.
The liquid B's हुआ, ये हुआ, वो हुआ.
Yeah.
That is one list. This also keeps on changing. Put it aside. The second list, these are the securities I'll accept as collateral. Every CC says.
Right.
That's the second list. Now, haircut kitna katega is a part of second list, or is it that I'm not sure. VAR में जाएगा कि second में जाएगा.
So like if I can.
So your question is haircut, right?
Yeah. So NCL, as I understand, like on the 20th of the previous month, it issues a circular where it says these are the cash securities under cash component, securities are non-cash component, and the haircuts. And the haircuts that they define are as, VAR or 15%, whichever is higher, VAR or 20%, whichever is higher. So the securities list and the haircut that is defined in this list is now to be used for this purpose. For this.
Can NCL confirm this, please? For the purpose of reporting to NCL, which haircut figure we take for approved securities? The one in that monthly file? I think NCL is a bit offline.
This is Piyush. So yeah, so it will not ICCL, but yes, it will be the clearing corp. जो clearing corp को लगाता है VAR, which is based on the same haircut, which is built on the file which they are uploading. So the same will have to be put. Only thing is that correct. That's the thing. So
and for non-approved security is just the VAR rate, correct?
In non-approved may we do not prescribe anything as per se. right now you're doing
non-approved में तो कोई डाउट नहीं है, वो मार्जिन वो ब्रोकर रिटेन रहेगा और उसमें वार हैकट लगाना है, सो उधर तो कंफ्यूजन नहीं है, दैट विल बी ब्रोकर रिटेन. और इसमें जो आपका जो लेट्स से जो
सी आई विल एक्सप्लेन व्हाई वी पुट दैट हेयर कट वाला
जो भी अप्रूव्ड है उसमें
हाँ तो हमने हेयर कट वाला क्यों डाला, बिकॉज इन द बिगिनिंग वी वर गेटिंग क्वेश्चंस बोथ क्लियरिंग कॉर्प्स दैट एवरी ब्रोकर हैज डिफरेंट हेयर कट्स. ओके, सो व्हाट शुड वी पुट? So then to clarify or simplify things, we said that for reporting purpose, you put the clearing corp wala jo haircut hai, wo dal do. Because anyway, brokers can put haircut, any haircut as long as it is higher than the clearing corp haircut, right? So that is why we said that आप clearing corp का haircut लगा दो, वो करके report कर दीजिए.
No, fair enough. This is understood. All I will maybe flag off is that when we are doing margin collection reporting for against margin obligations, there we use only VAR haircut, while in this file you have, let's say, for certain securities, you define VAR or 20%, whichever is higher, VAR or 40%, whichever is higher. So there can be a gap in terms of how the haircut is applied in this submission as well as or versus the daily margin collection reporting submission. So that's just I would like to flag off out here.
Very good point,
But,
Saurabh. Lovely.
But that's understood from what you're saying for now. दूसरा चीज है इसमें, जैसे आप जो shares बता रहे हैं, जैसे now I gave certain shares which is approved and I gave it to the clearing corporation, but clearing corporation मुझे उसके सामने वो client का मैंने जो shares repledge किया है उसका पूरा limit नहीं दे रहा है, for example quantity के कारण. So do I need to really factor that at all, or now should I just consider that ये repledged value है, so I just give it as given to CC?
So
Not really sure I got the question. Can we?
So I'll rephrase the question, Saurabh, with the permission.
Sure.
So
sure.
I pledged 10 lakh shares of a particular company to, there's a repledge of 10 lakh shares of a particular company to CC. Now, CC has a limit. I'll not accept more than 5 lakh shares from a single member. So when I report line given to CC, should I report the entire 10 lakhs value or 5 lakhs value? Do I need to get into that complication?
No, you report the entire.
Saurabh, that answers the question?
Yeah, because the
Sure,
thing is that if you report partial, then the CC matching will not happen.
Okay.
Because what will happen is you will say that client side got 10 lakh, to CC I gave only 5 lakh, return 0.
Right.
Okay, so that is why you basically put the entire thing. Don't get into what is accepted, not accepted.
Fair enough. That is helpful. Uttam, on a different subject, आप जो reconciliation बोल रहे थे, can you guide on that again in terms of how do we? One is at the client level, which is clear कि client का जितना available है वो हमें allocate करना है. So that is a row level reconciliation. Column level के हमारे पास जितना BGFD है, जो clearing corporation को दिया है या clearing member को दिया है, या if there is a balance fund, for example, if there is excess, then do we just show it under pro कि वो जो भी FD है या BG
So
है या cash है?
if you read a SEBI circular, it says that whatever you give to your CM, it should tally. If you give 5,000 rupees to your CM and you say this is a breakup of 4,000, मतलब बाकी 1,000 क्या है boss? So you have to say 1,000 pro है.
Okay. So pro के column में जो भी है, let's say
because if you read the SEBI circular, it
उधर आ
says
जाना
that it should tally. Like exact breakup is required.
What is equal to? What is used is equal to.
Equal to. So it's not higher or lower.
Okay. Okay. Another thing is what about how does the funds lying in client bank account? Where does that play into this whole reconciliation?
It doesn't play anywhere in this whole thing. But then when you retained with me आएगा ना,
हाँ,
उसका शायद कुछ algorithm लग सकता है. So just be careful because of money part.
So okay, तो वो भी एक तरह से tally होना चाहिए, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And which is a good thing ना. See those brokers who don't misuse client money, उनको तो फर्क ही नहीं पड़ेगा. तुम tally नहीं करे तो भी तो tally होना है. और जो misuse कर रहे हो निकल के बाहर आ जाएगा. It's super.
उसका misuse का time का हम केवल maths ही करते जा रहे हैं.
अरे Saurabh, you assume everybody is a good broker like you. It's not the case. You know? When you all these default, then you realize कि ये बदमाशी भी होती है.
अरे we don't have the time to get out of it.
assume करते हैं. That is the bad thing. Anyway, let's move ahead.
हम केवल Excel में इतने busy रहते हैं, हम कहाँ से misuse का time निकालेंगे?
Fair point.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mr. Paresh, your question, please. Mr. Paresh. Amit ji, your question, please. Dinesh ji, your question.
Hello. Sir, we have security deposit, interest-free security deposit showing in MG05, and same security deposit is showing in INIT financial report, right? So INIT financial report shows the total, 100, for example, 100 crores. And in INIT MG05 report shows only 50%, only 50%. I don't know what is the allocation, but MG05 shows lesser than the INIT financial report. So which security deposit need to be shown in this reporting?
Dinesh, I think your question is related specifically to NCL, some files. Unfortunately, NCL seems to have dropped off. So we'll just hold on to the question till they are around.
Okay.
Jatin ji, your question, please. Mr. Jatin Shah. Mithil, your question, please.
Hello.
Yes, Jatin.
Yes. My first question is with reference to this point number 10, where we need to show the ledger balance. In the ledger balance, it has been mentioned we are doing posting on T day. In the FAQ issued by the exchanges, they have mentioned that we need to include the open bills of the client, unclear checks deposited or issued, and the margin obligation if we are posting in that books. So ideally on the T day, we have the ledger balance of T day plus if anything posting done on T plus 2 day, it should be included in this point number 10. Is it correct?
ये इतने दिन से आप जो वीक प्लस 4 में रिपोर्ट करते हो क्या रिपोर्ट कर रहे थे
सर? वो वाले रिपोर्टिंग में एक्सक्लूड करने के लिए लिखा हुआ और एफएक्यू में ये इंक्लूड करने के लिए लिखा हुआ. देयर इज अ डिफरेंस बिटवीन दिस थिंग. If you read carefully the FAQ, it is saying that the financial ledger balance to be reported said include total fund balance including open bills of the client. If the on the T day, if I am posting the
ठीक है. और आप बोले पुराने FAQ में लिखा है ओपन बिल्स को इग्नोर करो फाइनेंशियल में.
यस सर.
ये जो अपने वीक प्लस 4 कर रहे हैं,
हाँ,
उसमें लिखा हुआ है कि ओपन बिल्स को इग्नोर करना चाहिए while रिपोर्टिंग फाइनेंशियल लेजर.
फाइनेंशियल लेजर बैलेंस में T+2 का पोस्टिंग नहीं आता है सर. मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ सर.
ठीक है जतिन भाई, ऑन दिस इस टॉपिक पे अपने पहले नक्की कर चुके हैं. इसका अलग से एक्सचेंज क्लैरिफिकेशन इशू करेगा. बहुत कंफ्यूजन.
ओके वन मोर थिंग. ये जो अलोकेशन जो करना है, जो क्लाइंट का कोलेटरल है उसका अलोकेशन करना है, that has to be allocation to be done on the clear balance or it should be done on the ledger balance book.
एलोकेशन 1 दिसंबर को होने वाला है ना.
हाँ ठीक है. ये जो
जब भी करना होगा क्लियर पे होगा सर. 11 नंबर पे होगा. जो पैसा आपके पास आए नहीं एलोकेट कैसे करोगे
सर? जैसे
प्रो से करो पेमेंट.
मैं एग्जांपल दे रहा हूँ सर. अर्ली पेइन का आज के दिन में बेनिफिट देते हैं फॉर नेक्स्ट दिन के ट्रेडिंग के लिए.
नहीं, अर्ली पेन का बेनिफिट देते खाली मार्जिन कलेक्शन के लिए, मार्जिन कलेक्शन रिपोर्टिंग के लिए. फर्क है, टेक्निकल फर्क है इस पॉइंट पे.
मार्जिन कलेक्शन के लिए उसको मैं
एलोकेट आप समझिए 1 दिसंबर का एलोकेशन में क्या होगा. ये पैसा जो सीसी के पास दिया हुआ इस क्लाइंट का है, करेक्ट. पैसा आपके पास आया क्या
सर? आज के दिन में भी वो नहीं आ रहा है. मैं
आया नहीं ना. तो आज के दिन से नहीं आया तो एक होता है मार्जिन कलेक्शन होता है, एक्चुअल एलोकेशन होता है. ये दो अलग चीज है कंसेप्चुअली.
नहीं मैं उत्तम जी, मेरा क्वेश्चन पूछने का रीजन ये है कि अलोकेशन आप बोल रहे हो क्लियर बैलेंस पे करना है, मार्जिन रिपोर्टिंग के टाइम में मैं अर्ली पेइंग भी कंसीडर करूंगा. तो दस दिस रिपोर्टिंग विल कॉन्ट्राडिक्ट लाइक कि अगर आपने ये मार्जिन रिपोर्टिंग किया है तो अलोकेशन के टाइम में आपने ये फिगर नहीं बिताया था. तो
एलोकेशन कैन नॉट बी मोर देन 11. इट कैन बी लेस देन 11. बाकी प्रो से आप दे सकते हो.
मतलब फॉर एग्जांपल कोई क्लाइंट का लेजर जीरो बैलेंस है, उसने 1 लाख का सिक्योरिटीज बेच दिया 1 तारीख को, ठीक है. 2 तारीख का मैं रिपोर्टिंग कर रहा हूँ तो उस दिन को मैं जीरो लेजर बैलेंस ही दिखाऊंगा और जीरो एलोकेशन दिखाऊंगा.
बिल्कुल सही. नहीं, क्लाइंट को आप ट्रेडिंग लिमिट दे दोगे, क्लाइंट सौदा करेगा. हाँ. वो जब सौदा करेगा तो जो प्रो का कैपिटल है वो यूज हो जाएगा.
प्रो का कैपिटल यूज हो जाएगा.
वो ठीक है. हाँ
वो ठीक है.
और शाम को जब मार्जिन रिपोर्ट करोगे ईपीआई, हाँ मार्जिन आ गया भाई, कोई दिक्कत नहीं.
नहीं लेकिन द पॉइंट वाज दैट कि प्रो में से अगर वो अलोकेट हो जाएगा, अगर हमने नहीं डिफाइन किया है और प्रो में से अपने आप अलोकेट हो जाएगा तो डज पेनल्टी विल बी चार्ज.
नो, तो आप डिस्कशन पेपर पढ़ो तो पेनल्टी था, लेकिन जो सेबी का सर्कुलर उसमें पेनल्टी हटा दिया डीम्ड एलोकेशन में.
फाइन सर.
ये बहुत ये बीबीएफ का जो रिकमेंडेशन किया था सबसे बड़ा रिकमेंडेशन था कि प्रो के वैसे से क्लाइंट को काम करने दो. और सेबी के सर्कुलर में ये भी लिखा है जैसे कैश मार्केट, ठीक है, कैश मार्केट में 20% मार्जिन लेना जरूरी है. लेकिन कभी कभी कोई आइटम में 80% मार्जिन लग गया.
करेक्ट है सर.
तो हमने 20 ले लिया, बाकी 80 लग गया, तो बाकी 60 हमारे प्रो से लगना चाहिए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. क्लाइंट बट क्लाइंट से 20 लेना. तो दैट लॉजिक सेबी इज ऑलरेडी एक्सेप्टेड इन द सर्कुलर.
ओके. वन मोर क्वेश्चन उत्तम जी मेरा. सर ये जो सिक्योरिटीज है जिसमें अप्रूव नॉन अप्रूव का सेग्रीगेशन दिया हुआ है, ठीक है, तो अप्रूव्ड सिक्योरिटीज का तो हेयरकट डिफाइन हो गया कि सीसी के अकॉर्डिंगली करना है, ठीक है. जो सिक्योरिटीज अप्रूव्ड है हमारे पास पड़ी है वो भी मैं सीसी के अकॉर्डिंगली करूं या उसका वार के अकॉर्डिंगली करूं, लाइक रिटेन बाय टीएम द अप्रूव्ड सिक्योरिटी दैट हैज टू बी
Piyush bhai, again let's take the example of Reliance Industries. Suppose I repledge with you, I have to use a CC haircut. But if I don't repledge, I just do margin pledge, keep with me. Still, I have to use the CC haircut. Just
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's
Even
supposed
then you have to use the CC haircut.
same rate. Jatin.
Yes.
Clarified.
Okay. And there is one more question with reference to this JV passing. Uttam ji, one of the circular, I think FAQ आया हुआ था exchange का with reference to this quarterly settlement. In that they have mentioned that JV should be passed only if there are some charges and it has been allowed to pass the JV. Like अभी मेरा एक cash FNO currency.
It is not JV actually, it's inter-segment transfer.
ठीक है, इंटर सेगमेंट ट्रांसफर है. तो ये जो इंटर सेगमेंट ट्रांसफर है, टू रिपोर्ट करेक्टली सेगमेंट वाइज, डू वी नीड टू डू एवरी डे लाइक फॉर द
अभी जैसे अगेन ये जैसे एनसेल ने बताया इज डिजायरेबल नॉट कंपल्सरी, बट मैंने ये भी कहा था इसके बारे में हम क्लैरिफिकेशन लेंगे.
Because it will be too much of entries in the books of
client पागल हो जाएगा लेजर देख के.
और क्लाइंट अभी भी बहुत क्वेश्चंस आस्क करता है कि why this has been
ये एंट्री क्या, वो एंट्री क्या,
why ये.
ठीक है सर, ये सर अपने कुछ चीजें लिखे हुए मैं रीड कर देता हूँ. ये टी डे बैलेंस का पूरा स्टोरी एक बार क्लैरिफाई कीजिए. ये जेवी का स्टोरी क्लैरिफाई कीजिए. टेंडर ऑफर में डबल सीसी कहाँ रिपोर्ट करना है वो प्लीज क्लैरिफाई कीजिए. ये पीक कैसे चलेगा बताइए. वार हैकट सीसी हैकट अलग है तो ऑटो रिपोर्ट जो चेकिंग करोगे उसमें गड़बड़ हो सकती है. अनअप्रूव सिक्योरिटी से क्या हैकट होना चाहिए.
करेक्ट. वन लास्ट क्वेश्चन सर उत्तम जी. वी आर टीएम बोथ, मतलब सेल्फ क्लियरिंग मेंबर है, तो हमने ये जो पैसा टीएम में रिटेन किया, कैन डू वी नीड टू शो इन सीएम रिटेन आल्सो दैट फिगर.
आप टीएम हो
और सीएम भी है, दोनों है हम.
SCM हो, सेल्फ
क्लियरिंग मेंबर basically.
I don't know.
Do we need to
no, I'll explain the question.
Which columns will be filled by SCM?
I will explain the question. So basically, आपको 100 client से मिला है, आप SCM हो. There are two things. You can keep it with yourself or you give it to CC. Now, if you give it to CC, you will show as passed on to CC, right?
Correct.
So if you are not passing it on, then you will show it in written by TM, not in written by CM.
Okay, not written by CM. Correct?
No. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Mithil ji, your question, please.
उत्तम जी, गुड इवनिंग. मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है, अभी एक क्वेश्चन पूछा था कि परमिटेड क्वांटिटी रिलेटेड, अगर मेरा कोई क्लाइंट है उसने मेरे को स्टॉक दिया है जो एक्सीड कर रहा है परमिटेड क्वांटिटी लिमिट, तो उस समय मतलब एक तो रहा एलोकेशन और एक रिपोर्टिंग. तो एलोकेशन तो ठीक है, आपने बोला कि पूरा करना है, बट एट द टाइम
नहीं एलोकेशन नहीं, रिपोर्टिंग पूरा करना है.
ओके.
एलोकेशन तो ऑटोमेटिक है सिक्योरिटीज में, आप कुछ कर ही नहीं सकते उसमें.
ओके सॉरी. तो रिपोर्टिंग पूरा करना है तो पूरा बेनिफिट मिलेगा वो सिक्योरिटीज का. डू यू मीन दैट पोस्ट वार पूरा, मतलब उसको अगर
फॉर मार्जिन रिपोर्टिंग डेफिनेटली यस.
ओके, मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि परमिटेड क्वांटिटी के ऊपर जो जा रहा है वो कंसीडर ही नहीं होगा.
नहीं, पीयूष हैज क्लैरिफाइड कि परमिटेड क्वांटिटी का पंगा ही नहीं. हां.
सेकंड क्वेश्चन इज रिलेटेड टू प्लेज, मतलब रीप्लेज. इसमें ऐसा है मेरा क्वेश्चन सर के स्टॉक कोलैटरल प्लेज किया हुआ है टीएम को, वो उस समय मतलब क्लाइंट ने तो ऑल एक्सचेंज लिखा है, लेकिन एज अ क्लियरिंग मेंबर, मतलब मैं क्लियरिंग मेंबर को अगर टीएम आगे रिप्लेस कर रहा है तभी मैंने बीएससी कैश पे टिक किया है, ठीक है. और जब क्लाइंट ने पोजीशन क्रिएट किया है तब उसने अलग सेगमेंट में क्रिएट किया है, फॉर एग्जांपल MCX या NSE फ्यूचर में क्रिएट किया है. सो व्हाट will happen in that case?
So if you now there are two questions mixed in this. One is for the purpose of reporting after from 1st October.
Right.
उसने BSE उससे कैश सेगमेंट टिक किया है, तब वो कैश सेगमेंट में रिपोर्ट करोगे. वो चैप्टर खत्म हो गया.
हाँ, तब मैंने ऑल किया था.
और नहीं, क्लाइंट ने ऑल किया और आपने रिप्लेस कैश सेगमेंट में किया, ऐसा बोला आपने.
मैंने रिप्लेस BSE कैश सेगमेंट में कर दिया.
BSE कैश सेगमेंट नहीं, खाली कैश सेगमेंट होता है.
कैश सेगमेंट में किया, सॉरी. हाँ, कैश
सेगमेंट में आपने रिप्लेस कर दिया. तो अब जब ये जो 1 अक्टूबर का रिपोर्टिंग है ना, अब उसको कैश सेगमेंट में दिखाते जाना. ओके. और जो भी सीसी का आपने प्लेज किया है.
ओके. और
यहाँ तक क्लियर है. और फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ मार्जिन रिपोर्टिंग ऑल सेगमेंट ऑल एक्सचेंज वो पुराना चलता रहेगा. कुछ बदला ही नहीं.
राइट. ठीक है, थैंक्स.
ऑलराइट. वीरेंद्र भाई.
Yes, so we are a self-clearing member, but apart from clients, we also have CP codes. So, for example, FPIs, NRIs, so on and so forth. तो अभी उनका बैलेंस should be reported as CM or as TM, because technically my CP code can clear through any of the trading members as well. You are muted.
Piyush bhai, you'll have to take this. Piyush, you're on mute.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, can you repeat the question? I was...
Virendra, please.
Yeah. So my question is, I am a SCM, but apart from regular customers, I also have CP codes and some NRI clients who also have CP codes. So now the question is whether their collateral I should report as a CM or as a TM, because technically my CP code could settle.
As a CM.
Okay. So all CP codes as CM, all other clients as TM.
I think we lost Piyush's voice. Piyush, we lost your voice.
Hello?
Yeah, some difficulty from your side technically. Piyush, we're losing your voice. It's a bit garbled. Moving ahead. Virendra bhai, just
hello.
Yeah, Piyush, back.
I'm sorry. So if you are the executing broker and you are not the end destination client for the CP code, then you report at the time of as a TM. If you are the destination broker CM also, then you report as a CM.
So we are execution broker as well as for that CP code, but the client trades and settles through us.
Then in that case you do it as CM.
Okay. So only for CP codes we report as CM, for all other clients we report as TM.
Correct.
Hello. Can I take my question?
हाँ राकेश भाई.
हाँ, बेसिकली मुझे पीयूष जी से पूछना है, ये अप्रूव सिक्योरिटी 1 दिसंबर के बाद जो रिस्क रिडक्शन मोड के लिए जो काउंट होने वाला है यूसीसी वाइज, उसमें हेयरकट क्या लगेगा? अप्रूव सिक्योरिटी का हेयरकट लगेगा या वार लगेगा? फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन.
नहीं, रिपीट कीजिए क्वेश्चन राकेश जी, सॉरी.
1 दिसंबर से जो अलोकेशन होने वाला है क्लाइंट वाइज, तो रिस्क रिडक्शन मोड के लिए जो कोलेटरल क्लाइंट ने दिया है एज
सीसी का हेयरकट लगेगा ना, सीसी का जो हेयरकट लगाना वो लगाएगा.
There is no change in the risk management policy for in terms of security haircut.
तो इसका मतलब है कि क्लाइंट जो परमिटेशन लिमिट है वो क्लाइंट के लिए भी एप्लीकेबल होगा ब्रोकर के हिसाब से.
Yes.
तो इसका नहीं, मैं स्टॉक लिमिट की बात कर रहा हूँ जो अभी.
Understood the point. It will be applicable for client also across the broker, for the broker.
तो इसका मतलब ये है कि से फॉर एग्जांपल अगर लिमिट 5 लाख क्वांटिटी का कोई स्क्रिप्ट का है, तो मेरे पास से ओवरऑल अगर मार्केट में से किसी ने 5 लाख वो स्क्रिप्ट दे दिया है, तो मेरे पास से कोई क्लाइंट अगर प्लेज करेगा तो उसका बेनिफिट नहीं मिलेगा.
That's right.
वो तो आज भी नहीं मिलता था.
नहीं, आज तो क्या है, ब्रोकर का हो रहा है, तो अभी यूसीसी क्लाइंट वाइज अपन जाएंगे तो वहां पर ब्लॉक होगा. बराबर है?
नहीं, ब्लॉक नहीं होगा. प्रो के पैसे से दो ना, करने दो ना काम क्लाइंट.
ओके.
आज की तारीख में भी यदि क्लाइंट को लिमिट नहीं मिला तो प्रो के पैसे से काम होते हैं, दूसरे क्लाइंट के पैसे से थोड़ी काम करते हो.
बराबर है, अभी तो नहीं कर रहा है वो.
हाँ, तो उस प्रो में जमा है तो करो काम, कोई दिक्कत नहीं.
ओके.
बट खाली मुझे एक मेंबर का मैसेज आया, वो बोला कि प्रो के डीम्ड एलोकेशन पे पेनल्टी अभी भी है. तो
That's true. That's right.
बट सेबी सर्कुलर सेड कि इट विल बी डीम्ड एलोकेशन. पेनल्टी का तो कहीं वर्णन
नहीं है डीम्ड एलोकेशन पे पेनल्टी. They are not said how much. They have said that it will be penalty.
But have they not also mentioned that the cash segment, it is obvious that 20% ही आएगा ये वो. मतलब we have to collect 20% whatever the rate of margin is.
That's correct.
Okay, then
I'll explain to you उसका.
So
let's do another call separately for December one thing. हाँ.
We have to take it up with SEBI then. Okay.
और सेकंड 1 दिसंबर के बाद जैसे अपन बैक ऑफिस में जेवी की बात कर रहे हैं, तो मुझे लग रहा है सेगमेंट वाइज लिमिट भी सेगमेंट वाइज जाएगा फिर तो, इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग.
नहीं, आज भी लिमिट सेगमेंट वाइज ही है ना, जो सीसी को पैसा देते हो तो।
नहीं, क्लाइंट को लिमिट तो ग्लोबल ही जा रहा है ना अभी तो। आज
क्लाइंट
तो
को लिमिट ग्लोबल जा रहा है, लेकिन मार्जिन रिपोर्टिंग तो वैसा का वैसे ही चलेगा ना, कि उसमें अभी उसमें थोड़ी कुछ चेंज हुआ है।
नहीं,
बिकॉज आई थिंक एक लाइन है, देयर इज नो चेंज इन द मार्जिन रिपोर्टिंग सिस्टम कलेक्शन में।
नहीं, पीयूष जी से बात हुआ था। पीयूष जी बेसिकली आपने बोला था कि 1 दिसंबर के बाद एक फाइल फॉर्मेट आने वाला है जो अपने को अपलोड करना है। क्लाइंट अगर समझ लो कि स्टॉक का तो अभी है ही प्लेज रिप्लेज वाला फॉर्मेट। क्लाइंट अपने को कुछ फंड दे रहा है इन फॉर्म ऑफ कैश, एफडी, बीजी जो भी दे रहा है, तो अपने को ड्यूरिंग द मार्केट भी अपने को अपलोड करते रहना है क्लाइंट वाइज।
करेक्ट।
तो इसका मतलब तो
वो तो
यही हुआ
करना ही
ना,
है ना।
तो इसका मतलब यही हुआ मुझे सेगमेंट वाइज लिमिट देना है क्लाइंट को।
चलो 1 दिसंबर को थोड़ा बाद में सलटते, मोटा मोटे इश्यूज रेज कर दिया, एक बार 1 अक्टूबर सल्टा दे राकेश भाई पूरा।
सेकंड 1 अक्टूबर में पेनल्टी है अगर फाइल कुछ एरर वाला गया या नहीं हुआ अपलोड टाइम पे तो।
अभी तक किसी सर्कुलर में लिखा हुआ तो नहीं है।
सेकंड
जब तक अनाउंस नहीं करता तो पीयूष, जब तक अनाउंस नहीं करता तब तक पेनल्टी नहीं है। आई एम अज्यूमिंग दैट।
या यू आर राइट।
हाँ राकेश भाई।
सेकंड ये है कि जो रिस्क रिडक्शन मोड वाला है दिसंबर वाले ले रहा हूँ, उसमें अपना 50-50% है, अदरवाइज वो ब्रोकर के ऊपर जाएगा। अगर 50% क्लाइंट से नहीं हो रहा है तो ब्रोकर का इसमें जाएगा, बराबर है। अभी 16 जून का जो ये क्वार्टरली सेटलमेंट का सर्कुलर था, उसमें प्रायोरिटी आपने स्टॉक को देके रखा था। पर यहाँ पर मैं 50-50% के हिसाब से मैं करूँ और वहां पर मैं स्टॉक को दूं और फंड पूरा रिलीज कर दूं, तो ये तो पूरा ब्रोकर का ही फंड ब्लॉक हो जाएगा।
बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं आप।
उसका कुछ तो रेस करना पड़ेगा। क्वेरी
रेस कर दिया।
ओके,
उससे कुछ हुआ नहीं, तब क्लाइंट का शेयर अनप्लेज कर दो ना, एक्स्ट्रा वाला।
ठीक है,
फिर बैक ओटीपी करके वापस प्लेज करो, बस यही काम करो।
यही बचा है अभी।
नहीं सिर्फ राकेश भाई हो जाता है, ऐसा नहीं है। देखो
ठीक है,
मतलब ऐसे प्रॉब्लम केसेस खाली 1-2% ही होते हैं, मैक्सिमम निकल जाता है। संभालना पड़ेगा। देखो दीज आर रूल्स ऑफ द गेम, वी हैव टू प्ले विद।
ठीक है सर,
बट पॉइंट आपका सही है, गलत नहीं है। एनीवेज,
Nilesh ji, your question, please.
Uttam ji, Nilesh here. See, there was earlier some people asked questions related to the JV across the segment, So we already had a vendor meeting with Piyush ji and Hima madam, and I just want to clarify with example. See, suppose one client is selling shares on Monday, so he will get a clear credit on Wednesday, T+2, which is in case market. On Wednesday, client is taking position, say 100 rupees credit is there. Wednesday, client is taking some position whereby the margin requirement is 80. So technically, as suggested, either you can pass a JV of 80 rupees and report 20 in case market and 80 in this. So Hima madam and Piyush sir has already clarified on that day that it is a virtual allocation. You may not pass JV. Only thing, when there is an inspection, you should be able to justify 20 and 80. So the physical JV is not required. It is a virtual allocation. Just wanted to clarify that. Already they have given answer on that day.
ओके, वर्चुअल जेवी दिखेगा नहीं तो, लेकिन रिपोर्टिंग कैसे होगा?
हाँ सर, रिपोर्टिंग होएगा ना, because instead of reporting 100 in case market, it will be reported as 20 and 80 in F&O market. And total obviously has to tally with your ledger. So, Piyush sir, am I right? On that day, we already has discussed this, and you and Hima madam already said that.
Hello, conceptually you are right.
Yeah.
Hima ka today she was talking about that, but if you don't do a pass the JV, then at the time of inspection, it will be difficult for both you and CC to justify or figure out.
That can be,
but
yeah, sir, that can be justified because the total anyway is 100. So no need to create additional entries every day. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
Paresh ji, your question, please.
सर हम लोग का बीएससी सेगमेंट अभी वॉलेंटरी सरेंडर में है और हमारा बीएमसी में 15 लाख रुपीस वहां पर है, तो वी नीड टू रिपोर्ट दैट आल्सो इन द टू द एनसीएल एज वी हैव सिलेक्टेड क्लियरिंग कॉर्पोरेशन एज अ एनसीएल. हेलो,
हाँ सर सुन रहे हैं.
हाँ, हम लोग ने बीएससी सेगमेंट जो है वो वॉलंटरी क्लोजर में रखा है, हम लोग अभी ट्रेड नहीं कर रहे हैं बीएससी. हम लोग
एक तो बेस कैपिटल होता है, एडिशनल बेस कैपिटल.
नहीं, बेस कैपिटल है 15
लाख. 15 लाख का बेस कैपिटल है.
यस.
वो एनसीएल के फाइल में आपको क्रेडिट दिखता है?
नहीं,
तो क्या रिपोर्ट करोगे?
हम मैं वही पूछ रहा हूँ, तो वहां पे रिपोर्ट करना जरूरी है अभी हम लोग को
If it is not
NCL में?
visible in the NCL file, then right, Piyush?
No, you cannot report it because you are not getting any. It is
Yeah.
not being used for collateral. What Uttam was talking about is additional अगर आपका capital है, it's over and above BMC, उससे आपको benefit मिलता है in terms of collateral, not on the actual BMC. So there is no nothing to be
Okay,
reported.
okay. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Okay.
Ankit ji, your question, please.
Ankit, there's an echo in your voice.
I don't know how to do it.
Ankit, there's another Zoom call working near you, please. Virendra bhai.
Yeah, Himesh ji, your question, please.
Actually, I'm in a non-network area. I've already posted my question in the Q&A and the chat box. If Uttam ji can just speak it
No,
out.
that's not. There are some 23 questions, Himesh. I cannot multitask. Mar jaunga main. Please, पूछ लो ना.
Actually, Uttam ji, I'm traveling. So, anyway, chalo, jitna
Yeah,
samjha
please
sakun
try.
na. In point number 10, again, I'm coming back to point number 10. The clearing corporation have said that we need to include the EPI figures if we are giving the benefit for the another purchase or sale. Now the point is, if only a part benefit of EPI is given for some transaction and part benefit is not given, how as a clearing SCM or a software vendor is going to give effect to that?
But मुझे एक चीज बताओ, आपने ये theoretical discussion क्यों लगता है मुझे? मैं बोला आप पूरा benefit दे दिए उसको, ठीक है, वो बंदे क्लाइंट ने बेनिफिट यूज नहीं किया तो क्या फर्क पड़ता है यार, बेनिफिट तो दे दो ना.
तो फिर इन शॉर्ट इट इज लाइक दिस उत्तम जी, दैट जितना भी ईपीआई का मुझे बेनिफिट फाइल आया है वो
हाँ,
मैं
दे दो ना यार, खत्म करो ना.
वर्चुअल लेजर, वो फाइनेंशियल लेजर के साथ ऐड करके पॉइंट 10 में रिपोर्ट कर दूं.
हाँ, प्रॉब्लम क्या है? तो
पॉइंट ही सॉल्व हो गया. तो देन the earlier discussion where whether it was to be included or not to be included, that is why my question has come up.
Yes, this is your policy. See, suppose you say that no, for EPI value I will not give exposure. So that's a policy.
No, but
or you can have a policy
but
that I will give exposure. So SEBI enabled you to give exposure.
Here the policy is that अगर client को benefit position लेना है तो I cannot deny.
You can if you choose to.
No. If I want, I can choose to. But if a client wants me to allow him to take positions against the EPI amount, I cannot tell him no.
You can, because the money is funded from your pocket, dear.
No. अगर client ने मुझे पहले share दे दिया, मैंने exchange को दे दिया, फिर client ने बेचा माल, तो 80% I can.
हाँ, okay, 80% for further sauda, no?
हाँ, for further sauda.
But the further sauda 80%, CC is not 80%. The money is going from the pro. आपकी जेब से लगता है.
हाँ.
It is not the right of the client, Himesh bhai.
So that 80% is only for the margin reporting purposes.
Only for reporting, yes.
Okay, cool enough, fair enough.
So see, this सुबह बेचा, शाम को अर्ली पेमेंट कर दिया, दिन भर का margin pro has to fund from his own pocket.
Done.
For example.
Got it.
Right.
Got
okay.
it. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks.
Dinesh ji, your question, please. Dinesh ji. Samir ji, your question, please.
हेलो.
Yes, Samir bhai.
या सर, मेरा यही था, जो एरर कोड है ना लेजर बैलेंस रिपोर्टिंग में, एरर कोड का ट्रीटमेंट कैसे होगा?
वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन. सी, माय रिएक्शन इज दिस, जो भी एरर का सौदा होता है, एरर आपका क्लाइंट नहीं है.
यस.
ठीक है, यदि एरर हो गया तो उसको पीएनएल अकाउंट में मूव कर दो, हटाओ ना उसको, जीरो कर दो ना.
ओके.
है कि नहीं? तो एरर हो गया, लॉस हो गया, लॉस को पीएनएल में डाल दो, पीएनएल में कुछ रिपोर्टिंग होता नहीं.
गॉट इट. सो डेली बेसिस पे हैव टू, मतलब
हाँ, ऐसे कर दो तो अच्छा ना, लफड़ा ही नहीं.
ओके. सो बिकॉज मेरे यहाँ पे ग्रुप वाइज मल्टीपल, इफ 3-4 में एरर मेंटेन करता हूँ.
हाँ, वही तो सारे एरर को साफ करते जाओ ना.
ओके. एंड इफ सपोज अगर मुझे रिपोर्ट करना पड़ा इन केस, तो अगर 3-4 अकाउंट है तो आई कैन कंसोलिडेटेड रिपोर्ट ना.
What error is like a pro only ना यार.
ओके.
एरर में क्या रिपोर्ट करोगे? मतलब एरर रिपोर्टिंग
मोस्टली आउटस्टैंडिंग डेबिट ही होता है वहाँ पे.
हाँ, लॉस ही होता है, एरर में कौन कमाता है? हाँ, वो तो क्लाइंट रख लेगा. बट हाँ, so ideally my guess is जो भी एरर में बिल बना वो आज का आज प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट में मूव करते जाओ।
Okay.
तो ये तकलीफ ही नहीं, कंफ्यूजन ही नहीं।
Okay. Got it.
But that's sort of
Yeah. Got it. Got it. Sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Ji, your question, please. Mr. Prakash Kacholia, your question, please.
हेलो।
हाँ अंकित भाई, आपकी आवाज आ रही है, बोलिए।
हाँ उत्तम भाई, एक क्विक क्वेश्चन था। वी आर ए सेल्फ क्लियरिंग मेंबर ऑन कैश मार्केट एंड एफएनओ, एंड वी आर डूइंग थर्ड पार्टी क्लियरिंग फॉर आवर करेंसी सेगमेंट। अभी जब हमारे यहाँ पे रिपोर्टिंग करेंगे तो एज पर दिस फॉर्मेट ऑफ द सर्कुलर, आर वी सपोज टू रिपोर्ट द बैंक गारंटी, एफडीआर एंड द सिक्योरिटीज अंडर 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, or are we supposed to report it under 31, 32, 33, 34, 35? Because 31 से 35
सी क्लाइंट ने आपको एफडी दिया?
नहीं, क्लाइंट ने तो कैश दिया।
क्लाइंट ने आपको बैंक गारंटी दिया?
नहीं, क्लाइंट ने बैंक गारंटी नहीं
तो
दिया।
फिर आपको वो 13, 14, 15 आपको अर्थ ही नहीं है, जो भी है वो 13, 14 नहीं अर्थ, खत्म।
13, 14 नहीं आएगा हमारे को।
करेक्ट।
सिक्योरिटीज जो है वो क्लाइंट ने प्लेज किया और हमने रिप्लेज किया।
हाँ, तो सिक्योरिटीज तो आएगा ही,
क्लियरिंग कॉर्पोरेशन।
हाँ।
बट वो जो अगर आप देखोगे ना 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 जो है ना, they are saying that bank guarantee received by TM from client and by CM from TM Pro and from CP।
वो सीएम डालेगा, आपको क्या टेंशन है उसका?
नहीं, बट हम तो खुद एससी है। मैं भी दो
तो
सेगमेंट
आप करेंसी की बात कर रहे हो कि अभी क्या? आपके तीन सेगमेंट्स है, कैश, करेंसी और डेरिवेटिव्स।
अभी अपन समझो, अभी सिर्फ कैश एंड एफएनओ की बात करते हैं। चलो एक बार करेंसी को साइड में रखते हैं।
वेरी गुड। कैश में आप सेल्फ क्लियरिंग मेंबर हो?
हाँ, एफएनओ में भी सेल्फ क्लियरिंग है।
सेल्फ क्लियरिंग मेंबर हो, ठीक है। तो एक तो सेगमेंट वाइज आपको बनाना है,
राइट। तो अभी
कैश का अलग लोड होगा, डेरिवेटिव्स का अलग लोड होगा।
परफेक्ट।
चलो अब कैश में आते हैं खाली।
हाँ
ठीक है। कैश में जो क्लाइंट ने आपको रोकड़ा दिया है वो 10-11 में जाएगा।
वो 10-11 में जाएगा।
ठीक है, ये रिसीव हुआ।
हाँ
ठीक है। फिर सामने आपने मनी में आगे क्या दिखाया रखा है?
हमने सामने बीजीबी दी है, एफडी भी दी है एक्सचेंज को।
हाँ, तो गिवन टू सीसी, एक्सचेंज को नहीं, सीसी गिवन टू सीसी में डाल दो। मैंने वो पूरा बनाया ना, 5-6 एग्जांपल दिखाए थे।
नहीं, तो गिवन टू सीसी तो जो आता है वो तो आता है सीधा 47, 48।
हाँ, तो वहां जाएगा ना।
हाँ, तो ये मतलब 13, 14 में कुछ नहीं आएगा,
कुछ भी नहीं आएगा।
और इवन ये 31, 32 में भी कुछ नहीं आएगा।
सिर्फ पे सिक्योरिटीज अपने फंड्स को सल्टाते हैं।
हाँ
ठीक है, तो
पहले फंड को सल्टाते हैं।
हाँ, फंड्स 10, 11 और फिर 41, 42, 43 जो भी उधर है।
अच्छा,
ओके, क्लियर?
नहीं 10, 11 और उसके बाद में सीधा 47, 48, बिकॉज़ 47 इज बीजी प्लेस्ड विद
जो भी है, मतलब 40s में जो भी है
प्लेस्ड विद एनसीएल।
हाँ।
ओके, अभी सिक्योरिटीज पे आते हैं।
हाँ, सिक्योरिटीज भी ऐसे ही यही लॉजिक चलेगा मोटा मोटी, जहां भी उसका कॉलम है। रिसीव फ्रॉम क्लाइंट्स गिवन टू सीसी।
सिक्योरिटीज में भी मैंने तो नहीं, वो गिवन टू सीसी तो चलो क्लियर है कि अप्रूव सिक्योरिटीज प्लेस्ड विद एनसीएल, तो वो 49 और 50 में जहां आना है वो तो आएगा ही।
हाँ,
लेकिन एज फार एज
बेसिकली एज ए सीएम भरना है आपको सब कुछ। यदि आपका सवाल है, एज ए टीएम नहीं, आपको सीएम भरना है। रिटेन्ड बाय सीएम, गिवन नो रिटेन्ड बाय, सॉरी मैं खुद कंफ्यूज हो गया। विदाउट सीइंग द शीट इज बिट डिफिकल्ट। 2 फाइल लोड करके देखना, रिजेक्ट हो गया तो मतलब पता चलेगा सही वाला क्या, मतलब बैक ऑफिस वाले को सब अंकित, पॉइंट इज वी कंफ्यूज आवर ओन सेल्स। एक बार ये लोड करना फेल हुआ, यहाँ अच्छा यहाँ डालना है, हो गया, आगे बढ़ो ना यार।
ठीक है।
एंड बैक ऑफिस गाइस ऑलरेडी वीओटी ये सब वो कर चुके हैं। बाकी लोग कंफ्यूज हो जाएंगे इफ यू गो डाउन दिस टॉप पाथ राइट नाउ, दैट्स ऑल।
अच्छा, दूसरा
अंडरस्टैंड द लॉजिक, बेसिकली एज लॉन्ग एज अंडरस्टैंड लॉजिक, उसके बाद इट विल फॉलो इन प्लेस मैन। या नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन।
दूसरा ओएफएस का सेपरेट रिपोर्टिंग है।
हाँ,
दिस अनदर क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम आवर साइड। ओएफएस का सेपरेट रिपोर्टिंग है, बट ओएफएस का अपन सेपरेट फाइनेंशियल लेजर मेंटेन नहीं करते हैं ना, वो तो सेम फाइनेंशियल लेजर में ही पोस्टिंग होती है ना ओएफएस की।
करेक्ट।
तो उसकी रिपोर्टिंग सेपरेट कैसे करेंगे फिर?
तो आपका बैक ऑफिस वाले को बोलो, कुछ ना कुछ तरीका ढूंढ लेगा।
अच्छा, ओके,
ढूंढना पड़ेगा, मतलब कोई चॉइस नहीं है। दिस इज व्हाट सीसीज वांट।
अच्छा, तो मतलब फिर वो रेगुलर मतलब कैश और एफएनओ और करेंसी की रिपोर्टिंग में वो फिगर आपको अलग रखना पड़ेगा, वो
हाँ,
स्पेसिफिक ओएफएस के
कुछ करना पड़ेगा, कुछ मस्ती करनी पड़ेगी बैक ऑफिस।
ठीक,
बट इशू आप सही समझे, it was inefficient, but this is what is required, so that's the law, let's follow it. Could it be better? Of course, everything can be better, but let's not stick to what we understood. Right, Ankit?
Deepak Trivedi.
उत्तम जी,
बोलिए सर.
reference to point number 10 जहाँ पे लिखा है कि value shall be for the segment it shall include the credit entry on the account of EPI and M2M values.
मैं 10 नंबर पे अपने और एक भी क्वेश्चन नहीं लेने वाला
सर, लेकिन ये M2M values का
10 नंबर को सर अलग से मैंने रिक्वेस्ट किया एक्सचेंज 10 नंबर को ठीक से समझ एक्सप्लेन करेगा भाई.
ओके, और ये एक और पॉइंट है जो 21 में कह रहा है कि पूल अकाउंट का भी हमको ये मेंशन करना है.
बिल्कुल.
तो ये पॉइंट नंबर 10 में भी पूल अकाउंट मेंशन करना है?
नहीं, पूल अकाउंट फाइनेंशियल लेजर में थोड़ी जाता है.
ईपीआई का क्रेडिट जाता है तो पूल का नहीं जाएगा?
अरे एक्सचेंज के एफएक्यू में लिखा है कि ईपीआई का क्रेडिट लेजर में पोस्ट करना. पूल का लेजर क्रेडिट में पोस्ट करना लिखा है क्या कहीं पे?
हाँ, पूल का लेजर पोस्ट होता है ना.
पूल का
20%
पोस्ट होता है, लेकिन एक्सचेंज में नहीं होता. हमारा
नहीं पोस्ट नहीं होता मेरे ख्याल से.
ठीक है.
ओके सर.
अपना एनसीएल.
Ravi ji, your question please. Mr. Ravi Mishra.
Yes sir. हेलो.
हाँ जी.
हेलो उत्तम सर.
बोलो सर.
सर एक सिंपल क्वेश्चन है कि सपोज करो किसी क्लाइंट ने 1 लाख का माल बेचा है कैश में, उसका अर्ली पेइंग हो गया एंड वो फ्यूचर में पोजीशन ले लिया. ये मैं 1 अक्टूबर वाले के लिए पूछ रहा हूँ.
नहीं, आज कर सकता है वो.
हाँ,
आज वो कर सकता है तो 1 अक्टूबर भी कर सकता है.
सर एक्चुअली मेरे को ये पूछना है कि जो क्लियरिंग मेंबर को वो रिपोर्ट करेंगे अपने, तो मतलब क्या कैश के लिए दिखाएंगे कि क्रेडिट है और फ्यूचर में दिखाएंगे कि बैलेंस जीरो है?
आप इस केस में तो कैश में भी जीरो है, फ्यूचर में भी जीरो है, ईपीआई के अंदर पड़ा होगा.
हाँ, ईपीआई का तो एक बेनिफिट रहेगा ना कैश.
10 नंबर में 11 नंबर में तो जीरो है ही. 11 नंबर में जीरो ही चलेगा और 20 नंबर में पड़ा होगा इसका अमाउंट.
ओके.
इन द कैश सेगमेंट. और एफओ में 000 घूम जाएगा बेचारा.
अच्छा, तो इसका सर कोई इम्पैक्ट नहीं आएगा कि अगर जीरो बैलेंस में अपने किए हैं?
नहीं, वो आएगा, अलर्ट आ सकता है भाई तूने क्या किया, एक्सप्लेन कर, मैंने ऐसे किया, बोले ठीक है जाओ.
अच्छा सर, और एक ये है कि जब ये 1 दिसंबर से जब ये
सर आप समझिए रवि जी, तो सब बाकी सबके लिए भी नया सिस्टम डेवलप हो रहा है. ठीक है, सिस्टम डिजाइन करते उन्होंने बहुत चीजें सोची होगी, कभी कभी सिस्टम डिजाइन करते 2-3 चीजें मिस हो जाती है. ठीक है, जब ऐसा सेमिनार होता है या रियल होता है फिर उनका ध्यान आता है, नया एफएक्यू निकालते हैं, सिस्टम को ट्वीक करते हैं. मतलब घबराइए मत, कॉमन सेंस विल नॉट बी लॉस्ट.
नहीं सर, और ये 1 दिसंबर से जब ये होगा तो अगर उस समय अगर ये ऐसा पोजीशन रहेगा,
1 दिसंबर आने से पहले एक वेबिनार हो जाएगा सर, उसको हैंडल कर लेंगे सर.
सर
सेबी सुनती है, लॉजिकल पॉइंट है तो मानती है, ऐसी बात नहीं है. मतलब इतना अंडरस्टैंड मत कीजिए रेगुलेटर को, होशियार है सब. अभी तक जो भी किया है शुरू में चूचू करते हैं, बाद में अब तो बोलते हैं अच्छा किया है, अपना बढ़िया हो गया. अच्छा ही होगा, बस खाली इसमें काम बढ़ गया. और अपना जो मैं मस्ती में कहता हूँ, पहले अपनी डॉक्टर की दुकान थी, मरीज आता था दवाई लेके जाता था. अब अपना ऑपरेशन थिएटर हो गया. जरा भी गलती की तो मरीज मर ही जाता है, चाहे शाम को अर्ली पेन हो या सुबह का भी फाइल हो. इट इज बिकम अ वेरी वेरी टाइम सेंसिटिव बिजनेस. ठीक, तो ठीक है, दिस इज, अब यही हकीकत है, यही फ्यूचर है, क्या करें.
ओके सर, थैंक यू.
राइट सर, राइट सर, राइट.
Yes, Uttam sir.
Yep, we have run out of questions. I'm so happy. So again, members, more or less we have an idea. The back office vendors have an idea, and they will they'll figure out what is to be done. CCs are working hard to explain our queries to the extent possible. So we'll try to have all other questions. We'll try to have it resolved from time to time. Again, there are 5-6 issues that I've listed out, which will request CCs to issue clarification at the earliest possible. So that is where we stand. So on please, koi bhi query ho to please send us a message offline. Please get in touch with Wispy Bhai. We'll try to resolve it. On behalf of BBF and the entire stockbroking community, really want to thank the clearing corporations for joining in, answering our queries to the extent they can be. Piyush, Tisha, thank you. Tushar Bhai, Rana, thank you so much for joining in and resolving the queries. Baki, it increases the work of the community, no doubt, but this is actually a very nice step to stop the Peter Power problem. Those brokers who don't do it, will not really get affected from business point of view, will but with slightly working capital बढ़ेगा and थोड़ा discipline में चलेंगे. But then because of all this, some people misuse it so much that we need systems to stop it. This probably will be a step in that direction. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Bye everyone. Bye.